What's up, Michigan? Welcome back to the first postseason edition of the boys basketball season. State champs, Hangtime, Michigan. I'm Lorne Plant, Scoop IPS, TJ Kelley in studio. Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Live your college basketball dreams by recruiting yourself at LTUathletics.com. Each week on the show, TJ is going to take on a topic. It's a big Friday night in the state.
You are 100% correct.
Yes, district finals. We're talking about it. All right, on the Hangtime Michigan Companion Podcast, our BCAM Chalk Talk is with the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan, Mr. Basketball Chairman Steve Norgrove. 5 candidates are in the running. We talk about that and much more. And you can watch that chat on the State Champs Michigan social media channels, including YouTube. And you can listen to it on whatever podcast platform you prefer. Just Google State Champs Michigan Hangtime. All right, it's playoff time, and we've got recaps. We begin out on the west side for a D1 district semi as Wyoming took on Caledonia. Wolves came into the playoffs 13-7, led by the 6'4 senior Ramir Draper. Game high 29 points. Wyoming grabs an 80-61 victory. They'll face East Grand Rapids in the district final. Staying on the left coast in Division III at Muskegon, Western Michigan Christian. North Muskegon going up against Shelby. Norseman moving on with a 50-40 victory. Troy McManus, he had 20 points. North Muskegon will take on Holton for the district hardware. Now to the east side at Royal Oak High School for a D1 district semifinal between number 7 U of D Jesuit and Detroit Renaissance. Cubs dominated this one from start to finish. Of course, one of the top juniors in the state, Sonny Wilson, he was on 29 points in the game. UD wins 80-57. Next up, Oak Park in the district final. And back to Division III, E-Course at home to take on the Catholic League Cardinal Division champs and undefeated Riverview Gabriel Richard. This was a back and forth seesaw affair, but this night would belong to E-Course junior Kenneth Morass Jr. 19 points in the first half. He followed it up with 20 more in the second. They hung on to a 73-71 win. They advance to the D3 district final. TJ, your thoughts?
Hey, we're into the nitty-gritty.
Yes.
District semifinals are over. Kenny Morass Jr. with a breakout game. That's what high school sports, high school basketball is all about. It's about the opportunities and stepping up. And with 39 points, that's something to really combine and really think about for opponents because Malik Olafoye is a stat stuffer in himself.
Yeah, hats off, and that's what high school basketball is all about. Hey guys, Hangtime's brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association. The MHSAA needs officials. Go to MHSAA.com, click on the button that says officials, tell them State Champs sent you.
Hi, I'm Laura Ramus from DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, and today on Game Changers, we're going to show you why the strongest athletes aren't always the best athletes. Great athletes know how to pulse their muscles. When we're in the gym strength testing athletes, the greatest athletes aren't always the strongest athletes. For example, in the NFL, the players who win the bench press competition, they aren't always the superstars on the field. Great athletes are great muscle pulsers. What does this mean? Well, first of all, any movement must start with the core being strong and stiff. And then immediately, whether it's the arms moving or the legs moving, they're going to move powerfully, but they're going to do so like a hammer. So you've got a stiff, rock-solid core and your arms moving or your legs moving quickly and powerfully. For this to happen, the arms can't stay contracted or the legs can't stay contracted. If they did, the muscle can't move and stretch. So it's this timing of contracting hard and then releasing as you're sprinting down the field or the court. And it all starts with a stiff core and the timing of those two between the core, your arms, and your legs. I'm here with Matt from Brother Rice High School, and Matt's going to demonstrate a punch. I think the punch is a great way to show how the pulse works effectively in sport. Let's start out. He's not going to stiffen his core because that's one of those important parts of the pulse. Look what happens if you don't stiffen the core. He's still got strength and bends the pad, but you can see it's not that power, that speed. Now we're going to demonstrate the pulse by initiating the punch with this core. Look how powerful this is. Now incorporate that pulse into a traditional exercise like the mountain climber push-up. Looks like this. Get into your push-up position. Core is stiff. As you drop into your push-up, stiffen your core, come up and drive that knee towards your chest. Then go back and repeat on the opposite side. Stiffen, boom, and come back. The pulse is happening right now. As you come up, your core stiffens out of that push-up, knee pops up. So you got a rock solid core, stone solid core with a hip moving quick. So incorporate the pulse into all of your strength training exercises. And for more information on training, contact the team at DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine.
Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Then go where the pros go. DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. For immediate care, call 313-910-9328 or visit dmc.org/gamechangers. For more than 25 years, the greatest honor a Michigan high school student athlete can earn, the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's High School Athlete of the Year. You're one of the tops in your sport. Prioritize education and giving back, like Cassius Winston, Megan Bobian, Rakia Jackson, and Aiden Hutchinson did. 6 male and 6 female nominees earn $1,000 of scholarship money, with $5,000 each to be awarded at an amazing red carpet gala in downtown Detroit in June. The registration deadline now extended through March 25th. But know this, you cannot be nominated if you don't apply. Download the application today at dacathleteoftheyear.com.
Attention, Grand Rapids, starting right now. River City strikes gold.
And a hammer for Trayvon Duval.
Gold is dug up from the shadows. Gold is worked and refined. It's a process. And when you finally see it, nothing shines quite like gold.
Some other partners include the Michigan Army National Guard and this season, the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan. And together with state champs, we're celebrating the great game by promoting unity among teams, schools, and communities. BCAM has launched the One Team program, but there's also an Aspiring Coaches Academy program getting ready to go this spring. So coaches, you can sign up for that right now. You just go to bcam.org for info. But this week we talked with BCAM Mr. Basketball Chairman and Rochester Hills Stony Creek head coach Stephen Norgrove. They had a unity game this season. Here's how it went.
It's inspired because I'm so close with Coach Freilich at Troy, and he's had some health issues, and we all know people that have had health issues with cancer. My mom's has had cancer on three different occasions, and a former assistant coach has had cancer. A player of mine has had brain cancer, and he's now a manager at Oakland University. So this has impacted all of us, and what we did is we took each player and lined up one player from every team across the gym floor, and I read out who they were playing in honor of or in memory of, and that player stepped forward and waved. And it didn't matter whether they were with Troy or they were with Stony Creek. We were united in that moment, and players could share who they're playing for. And it was just a great tribute, I think, to many people, and just to acknowledge people's struggles and to acknowledge, some of the pain and some of the joy that these things can bring us.
Now, if you want the Mr. Basketball talk, you need to go listen to the podcast. The entire interview is available on the State Champs Michigan's Hangtime Companion podcast, and you can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. We also will have a video of that conversation on State Champs Michigan's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page, as well as the State Champs website, statechampsnetwork.com. All right, time now for TJ's Takes Districts, wrapping up Friday night.
Hey, a lot of great hoops. We haven't even scratched the surface of what has all the makings for a highly competitive playoffs over the next 15 days. Hopefully everyone checked out the State Champs boys rankings that included the top teams' district schedules for the week. District 25 with Hamtramck taking on Grosse Pointe North. Hamtramck wound up winning that game. Grosse Pointe South wound up beating Warren Fitzgerald in the other semifinal, and now they will meet up at Hamtramck this Friday. And go ahead, man.
What was the deal with the missed free throws?
14 of them for Hamtramck. Kept the game extremely close. Grosse Pointe North, 6'4" junior Adam Arout. They're down 66-60, hits a big three, comes back, hits another three, 66-66, and now Hamtramck has to make their free throws, which they did.
And he had a heck of a game, 36 points.
36 points. I'll say this, with a 4.0 grade point average, productive, athletic, looks like scholarships are in his future.
Obviously, one big one that we're looking forward to, Cass King.
Cass King at East English Village, such a small venue for such a big game. These teams haven't met since 2019. Let's say that the team on Grand River playing the team versus Lafayette, as they refer to each other. But yeah, that's going to be, let's say this, the battle for the city. Some would say the city championship if Western hadn't beat Cass a couple weeks ago.
All right, so what happened on District 10? Big games out on the west side.
Without a doubt. Muskegon wound up beating Kennewick Hills. Javion Otten had to bow out. He's only junior. He's a player to keep an eye on. Scored 17 points in the game. It's the playoffs. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. But that Muskegon Grand Haven district final is going to be huge.
Absolutely. And how about at Forest Hill Central? That is the one that we'll be covering here on State Champs, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Well, Grand Rapids Northview has been one of the solid teams throughout the year. They've been in the rankings. Rockford has slowly moved up, and they're now a top 20 team. So to see those two teams meet up, it's going to be very interesting. Somebody's got to go home.
Yeah, and another matchup that you find intriguing, District 14, Kalamazoo Central and Coldwater.
Not usually going to find Coldwater, not a traditional basketball school, but with some of the changes that have gone on, Albion closing a few years ago, some of these players had to move on. Kalamazoo Central is a team that, we're all familiar with. But yeah, that final on Friday is going to be huge.
What about East Lansing and Grand Ledge?
District 15. East Lansing is mopped up on Grand Ledge, not maybe saying them like that, but they've won by 20 plus points earlier in the two earlier meetings this year.
All right, let's focus a little on Division II, District 43.
The smart move. You've got one loss between Unity Christian, who's undefeated, and you've got Grand Rapids Catholic Central, who has their lone blemish, to Flint Beecher.
Yeah.
They're moving this game from West Catholic to Calvin University. A lot more people will be able to see this. So, a smart move by the district host.
All right, and just quickly, you even got some regional thoughts as we think about what's going on next week.
Well, the winners of District 10 and 9 meet at Grand Haven in the Region 3 semifinal on Monday. That's either going to be Rockford, Grand Rapids, Northview, or Muskegon, Grand Haven. The teams have been ranked or been on the cusp the entire season, but there's not a lot of people say that we're ignoring guys over on the west side of the state, but we got 4 teams right there who can make a lot of waves, and one of them more than likely going to make it to the Breslin.
Well, arguably the toughest in Division II is Region 16.
Without a doubt. You've got to love that all 8 of these teams are well above 500. Croswell Lexington being the undefeated team. And let's say they wind up going on the same path that they did last year. Looks like they'll meet up with Ferndale in the regional final.
That will be extremely tough. Region 16 at Flint Powers. We've got some interesting teams that are in the mix there. Richmond
versus St. Clair. Pontiac Notre Dame Prep versus Warren Michigan Collegiate. Croswell Lexington, who we've mentioned, versus Imlay City. And Goodrich versus Lake Fenton is the only team that has 6 losses. All the other teams are either undefeated or 1, 2, 4, 5 losses.
Right, and our number 1 team in the state, Williamston, might have an interesting matchup in Region 13.
Aiden Davis, another kid to look for in the future. We might know his older brother, Austin Davis, who just graduated from the University of Michigan. Aiden is only a sophomore, so let's see what Brad Maska and the guys down at Onstead can do versus a seasoned Williamston team.
All right, and real quick, your thoughts, we didn't talk about this yet, on the Operation Friendship King versus Orchard Lake St. Mary's game, 50-49, the final. Javon Hanna knocking down 2 free throws to win it for the Eaglets.
It was a foul.
Yeah.
It was a foul. I was sitting there on the baseline. I know that, let's say this, if they didn't call a foul, we would hear from the Orchard Lake St. Mary's people. If they did call a foul, which they did, then we're going to hear from the King people. At the end of the day, you have 2 great teams, ranked number 3 and number 4 in the state. And let's count on seeing those guys at the Breslin.
I'll tell you, one of the comments on social media that was interesting is I loved when these teams would play in the past and it would be like an 86-85 game instead of 50-49.
You know what? Sometimes you gotta praise defense. You're not always going to have scoring. Yes, you can say the ebb and flows of fan life. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was a competitive game, and everybody was on their feet. for the last few seconds.
No doubt about it. All right, some of the games we're covering, TJ's already alluded to. In D1, we've got number 3 Orchard Lake St. Mary's versus number 14 Brother Rice at West Bloomfield. That's going to be a classic. D1, number 23 Rockford and number 6 Grand Rapids Northview. That will be at Forest Hill Central. D2, number 17, Hudsonville Unity Christian versus number 2, Grand Rapids Catholic Central. That will be at Calvin University, and that game will be packed. And we're also covering a D2 matchup, and this is a shout out to Elizabeth Kuhn, 17-5 Chesaning, her brother on that team. But they're taking on 13-6 Flint Hamady. That game is going to be at Corunna High School. So regionals are next week. You know, Hangtime will be covering all that action all playoffs long. It's going to be a great 2 weeks. Follow TJ on Twitter at ScoopIPS. Hangtime premieres every Friday, but not next week. But next week we will have a special Hangtime that will premiere on Wednesday so that we can talk up the regional finals. We'll give you a preview for that and talk a little bit about what teams are still left as we get to the end of this season. So guys, hang in there. We'll see you next Wednesday. I'm Lorne Plant, and we'll see you. State Champs Michigan's Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Hangtime is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine Pros. Do you have a sports injury or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Athlete of the Year Awards. Applications being accepted for the male and female high school athletes of the year. Check out previous winners and download the application today at dacathleteoftheyear.com. Goodman Acker Law Firm. During the most difficult times of your life at Goodman Acker, you work with the same attorney and team the entire length of your case. They fight for you just like they would a member of their own family. Goodman Acker, good decision. Call 1-800-TRUSTED. And the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan, BCAM, has launched the One Team campaign, celebrating the great game by promoting unity among teams, coaches, and communities. Find out more at bcam.org.